Okay, we're on.
Hi everybody, welcome to an unusual session today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, it's our great privilege and honour to come and do some stretching with you daily. My name's Uma and this is Lee.
It's not stretching. It's a neural recoordination.
It is indeed. It's so much more than what it appears to be, and that is why quite often the movements are subtle because they have quite a profound effect on the body.
And normally we can see the screen, but today we can't, so we're just hoping that everything's okay. It's going to be a little bit unusual today. I haven't had a shave because I can't find my shaver.
Right, just ask me. It's somewhere safe.
Why isn't it just where I left it?
Well, you know, we're going through selling the house, so everything got put away.
Where's my body brush?
So, let's begin.
Well, I don't feel... My name's Lee, did we say that?
Yes.
We're directors of Amazing Oils, but we're sharing our yoga and somatic integration information with you today. Today's going to be a little bit different. A lot of you have been asking about standing and walking and even running, and I get it, it's really important, but it's to do with your foundation as much as anything else. So your toes, believe it or not, your toes connect through to your lower back, which is why sometimes a doctor will send you to a podiatrist to fix your feet up, and is why there's so many shops springing up. Healthy Feet, which just put something in there to keep you balanced. It's really important, but we're going to see if we can help you in a really natural way today.
So important for any knee pain, any hip pain, often relates down to the feet, to the condition of the feet.
Thank you. Basically, as we get older, we have the same habits that we had. I just watched my grandchild learning to walk, and he just basically leans forward and has to walk or he's going to fall over. And that's how he's going to live his life. He's going to be leaning forward all the time, so no full stops. Not really any commas, it's just go for it, the other one. So we're going to see if we can help with that today. We should start.
So, sit on a chair.
Yeah, have a chair. I want you to be able to stand up in a minute, and I hope you've done the thing with your feet, because that's where we're going today. Let's start by just getting a bit of a release through, although we're going to do that in another way. So maybe holding onto the knees, and we're going to roll on the sitting bones a little bit, and then we're going to come to normal, then we're going to roll forwards on the sitting bone a little bit. And what we want to do is, as you inhale, you want to get a sense of stretching here without lifting the head. And as you breathe out, of slouching. And the chin could drop in a little bit there. So we're just moving the spine backwards and forwards at first. And then in time, we could take the spine in circles somehow. You could do that keeping the spine stiff like this. Or you could do it rotating the spine, which is a bit more intense.
This is good to do while sitting and working at the computer.
It's not good to do while driving. And I was doing tell you what you can do while driving, I was doing this one, and then I noticed there was a bus and people were looking in, so don't do that either while you're driving. Okay, I want to get on with it a bit, and I don't know how to do that, to show people what they need to do with their feet. So
I'll assist. So why don't I bring the camera closer to the feet?
well, it's going to be wobbly.
We're getting a call, so I'm thinking that maybe we
Why
better
don't
check.
you go and get that?
We
and
better
see if
check. I'll
see
leave
if
it
we're
with you.
online or not.
Hello?
No, it seems fine.
They
So
can't
what-
hear us?
No
Okay.
sound?
No, very little sound. We need to speak up.
Okay, we're going to speak
Thank
up a
you.
little bit.
Bye.
Thank you for that. And I want you to somehow, can you bring that closer? Slowly, slowly. I know you don't want to see my feet, and if you did, I wouldn't want to show them to you. But what we're going to do is get some awareness in the feet, and we're going to start with a big toe. And what I'd like you to do is to twist the toe as far as it will go. Don't try and twist it off, just take it to where it will go. Because what happens, and you might know this, but what happens is as we when we first start out, we've got awareness all through the body, and we gradually start and then leave it. And for me, because I'm a lean forward sort of person too, I would just go on to the next one. But you need to stop for a moment and feel what's happening in there. Then we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to turn it as far. I told you this would be a weird one today. But so what happens is most of us have lost touch with our toes. And I don't mean that in any new age woo-woo way, and I don't mean it in any touchy-feely way. I mean literally the dendrites, the neural connections from, and then I'm going to leave that and I'm going to feel it. We've lost the ability to differentiate between the toes. And this, in my view, reflects a similar differentiation from the brain, a sort of cutting off, closing down of part of the brain. I'm doing this twisting back and forth, and I'm going to leave it a moment and see if I can feel the signals.
And thank you to Ruth, who's telling us she loves feet work. And thank you for letting us know the sound is better now.
Yeah, we had to put it a long way away, the camera. So I'm on my fourth toe, which if I asked you to move your fourth finger, you could probably do that. Oh, that's the third. Oh, you know what I mean. But the fourth toe, this is how we've lost touch, and our toes affect us so much. The way we stand, they sort of grip. I've studied sort of anthropologically how people, I'm on the little toe now, and you see I didn't even stop. I forgot to feel that one. So anthropologically, tribal people that don't wear shoes pretty much have no lower back problems. And their feet are spread, their feet are like that, they're spread wide. So we've done everything there, and we're going to put that one down on the floor slowly. And just take a moment to feel what that's like when compared to the toes on the other side. Those of you who do the pedicure thing, it's really good idea to use the toe spaces from time to time, just while you're sitting watching TV. That will actually liberate your spine to some extent. I want to go back to the same the same foot again. So would you bring that one back? This time, I'm going to make the biggest space, talking of toe spaces, between the big toe and the other toe, and then I'm going to take it as far. Now, you can see my toes are probably quite flexible, but you don't have to take it this far, but take it as far, and believe it or not, you're loosening up your whole body here. Don't take it too far, obviously. I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to pause for a moment and breathe and see if I can feel what's happening in my foot. And I might not be able to feel anything if it's been a while since my mind has been down there. This time, second and third toe. And I'm going to make the biggest space. If we had time, I'd show you how to make these spaces huge between each of your toes. But that takes about an hour. So maybe if the lockdown doesn't end, we'll do that. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to take a moment to feel what that's like. And now between, and I could take all the toes here and all the toes the other way. That gives a better stretch, wide in the center. Trying to put them together at the sides. And lastly, now I'm going to let that go. The difficult as this is for me, because I'm a bit ADHD in the mornings. Here I can see my children nodding. Yes, you are. No one likes somebody intense in the mornings. So we're...
Alan's just joined us. Good morning, Alan.
Hey, Alan. I'll be there soon. This is to get you ready for pedaling. Might be heading for the Pumice Stone Passage today, and if you're not into anatomy, it's nothing to do with that. Okay, let's notice how that feels. Put that down on the floor and see if you can get... You know, I reckon even you could stand up and get a... Well, for me, what it feels like, this side feels alive, and that side feels sort of... What can I say? Feels like that's closer to the ground, and this one sort of feels like it's got shape in it. And I don't know if we've got time, but we should really do the other side. So I'm going to sit down again. I told you it was a weird one today. And I'm going to take the other foot up. And if you can't reach a foot, find a friend. Call a friend. Ring a friend. I'm going with the big toe, and I'm twisting it so that it goes as far in one direction and as far the other. I'm going to hold that twist. And then the second toe, it's good to hold the whole toe. The toe, the whole toe, and nothing but the toe, so help you God. Twisting it one way. This is real. We haven't run out of stuff to do. This is important. Would I lie to you? No, I wouldn't. Going to give that a moment to feel the transmission of the neurons through the feet.
And what are you doing now?
I'm on the middle toe, and I'm taking it as far as it will go one way, as far as it will go the other. And some of us, learnt to walk with nappies on. So we had this sort of strange gait thing going on. G-A-I-T thing going on. And for some people that never ends. We never think to learn again how to walk in a way that's beneficial to us as human beings. I'm going to give that a second. And then this toe, second to last, going to turn it one way, turn it the other as far as it will go. I'm very flexible, I could just keep turning it like this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that for a moment. Especially those of you that wear high heels. Mainly women, I'm sure, but you know, if that's you, then that's perfectly fine. But they really damage your spine. And they obviously damage your feet. Okay, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to go straight into the other one now because we're running a bit behind. And normally I would do this in class for...
So what are you doing now?
I'm making a bigger space as I can between the big toe and the other toe. You're doing a good job on the camera.
I apologise if it's a little bit bumpy. I'm not used to being behind the camera.
God, that actually feels so good.
I'm jealous.
Well, you could have done it. You just didn't want anyone to see your feet because you've got stubby toes.
It's not that I am in desperate need of a pedicure.
I don't think anyone's in desperate need of a pedicure. I think there are far
You're a man.
worse things going on in the world
You're
than
a
not being
man.
able to get your... Now, if you were talking about head massage, then we'd have a conversation. So you notice how
It looks very unusual.
this,
It does. How does it feel?
fantastic actually. In fact, I don't mind if I've lost everyone today because this feels just so good.
Hi,
Oh.
Karen. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, God, feels so good. And let's put it down Actually, it really feels like quite a difference. Why don't you put the camera all the way back? We couldn't do this in India. They don't like people's feet, do they?
No, not at all. Sorry about the bumpiness.
Yeah, how's that? What if I stand up? Am I still in the frame?
You are indeed.
Okay, well, feel free to come and join us again. I'll try and speak up a bit because the camera's moved away. And you
Please
should
let
be
us
able to get
know.
quite, like, basically, that sense of aliveness is something that we can have through the entire body, so that you too can annoy your family in the mornings. Come on. Is it good? I think it's fine.
It's good. Let us know if the sound is okay, and we'll need to go and check because the camera's around the other way today.
So this is going to make quite a difference to the way you walk. So, but we're going to do walking a bit more and standing a bit more today. And you know what would be great? Sitting. No one ever taught us how to sit. So why don't you rock a little bit? You're probably, so for me, my feet are buzzing. So hopefully that's the same for you. And I would get some magnesium on your feet from time to time because that is your foundation. You know, when you've got lower back pain, or, you know, I see people running sometimes, keeping fit, and they've got a pronation through the foot, and I just so want to stop them and say, you're hurting yourself. And I've tried that a couple of times and I've got arrested. So it's not, but
No exaggeration there.
you need, I just want to help. So what do we do? I've forgotten what we're doing. If you were going to stand up, again, here's a good thing to think about. How, without standing up, how would you do that? Or would it be an unconscious movement? And is an unconscious movement the best way to move? So notice where your feet are right now. If you were to wiggle forward 1 inch with your feet, when you're ready, but paying attention, I want you to come to standing. Feel what that's like.
While people practice this a couple of times, can you just check the angle on the camera and make sure
Sure.
that we're, because
Why don't you?
you're the cameraman.
Well, I don't want them to practice it a couple of times. I want you to pause and now move your feet back 1 inch. That's like 6 inches. If you think that's 1 inch,
Exaggeration.
I'm happy.
I wonder
Yes.
where I get that from. So come to standing.
It's some grace. Now feel what it's like to come to standing like that.
So have the feet just 1 inch closer to the chair.
Yes. And down again each time. Sorry, feet. Exactly, Noah. Someone said sorry, feet. And it is, they're like the most unappreciated part of the body, but they support us. They are our foundation. Put your feet even further back and notice what that's like now to get up
Yes.
and down. But what are you doing with your head? If you were an engineer, the way to stand up is a relationship between the head, the hips and the knees. So you're sitting on the edge still, feet slightly back, and I want you to roll in your sitting bone again, but keeping the spine very straight. So we're not doing this, we're keeping the spine straight. Can you go so far that I could slide a piece of paper under Uma's butt?
So the hips are just slightly lifting off the chair.
Yeah, but
And-
I could get a textbook under there. I'm talking about a tiny bit. That's it. So, and it's where the head goes past the knee, that moment where you can get a sheet of paper under your butt. Don't put a sheet of paper under there. We need to save all the toilet paper we can at the moment. Pause. In a moment, I'm going to get you to come to that position and then, believe it or not, slide the hips from side to side. I'm not making this up. And then come back. Just enough to be able to take the hips.
So tell me what this is doing.
Never mind, you'll find out. I could tell you, but I could
Okay.
have another agenda.
Okay.
Then the feet are slightly back. We're going to roll the head forward and we're going to come up and we're going to find an easier way to stand and sit again. And again, if you do this, I would say 40, 50 times, then from then on, every time you stand up, you'll make those new changes to your posture, to your mind.
So it becomes habitual.
It becomes habitual.
Do not do this whilst at a computer, because it's really not handy if you've got a desk right in front of you. You need to push the chair
Well, it's a
back.
bit late now. Why would you say that afterwards?
Everybody would know by the time the head goes forward. I tried it once. Just once.
That explains
forgot.
so much. Okay, then I think we're going to more standing stuff. So, have the chairs towards each other, touching even. And yeah, shall I just check whether...
I think just check that it's...
So what I want you to do while I'm checking, you've got this here, you need it if you need it, and we're going to do what we did the other day, and that's coming up onto tippy toes and then rolling back onto the heels. Now you should have a lot more balance than you did before, and you should
In your
have
breathing.
a lot more flexibility through the... So, and you might wait up on tiptoe. I'm just going to check the angle.
That's such a nice stretch, isn't it? Both ways. And even spread the toes out as you come forward.
Someone just wrote hook up.
Hook
No,
up.
maybe one what on earth.
Let's hook up.
I'll tell you later. So we're rolling onto the heels, we're rolling, and we're stretching through the plantar fascia, which is the long connective tissue underneath the foot. Okay, let's pause there. Can you roll one foot slightly outwards and back again, and the other foot slightly outwards? You know how you go when you miss your footing and you sprain? Well, we won't
When
go
you
that
twist the ankle.
far. We're twisting the ankle to one side, we're twisting the ankle to the other side. I'm remembering to breathe.
Yes.
This time, and I don't know if you can see this clearly, I want you to come onto one toe without changing the weight. So you can support yourself if you need to, but we're bending the knee, coming up into... So you're sort of marching without leaving, without moving. Okay. One toe, you're going to go up on one toe and onto the other heel at the same time. Yes, you are. I would probably hold on. And then we're swapping. So as you go forward on one toe, you're going back onto the other heel. Does that make sense? I'll do it this way. See, try not to do that. Try to, I know I am too, but try and
Sorry, when
stay
we go back
upright.
onto the heel.
You're doing that with your feet.
Ah, so don't involve the upper body.
No, that's
Just
it.
lifting the toes.
Well, no, you're going back on the heel and lifting the toe at the same time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Feels like we should be on Monty Python, the Ministry of Silly Walk.
So your hips are
check
going
that
as
out.
well.
I've got it going. I've got it.
So you can take the...
Okay, that'll do it.
Yes,
Stop that. Stop that. Maybe have a walk around.
the silly walk.
And just, no, not a silly walk. Just have a feel what that's like. Okay. So you should be feeling slightly okay with your walk now. We've done the balance. We'll go back to that. Walking. We learned. So my grandkid walks, limb turn, walks like this. And that's sort of the patterns that he's learning. So we're doing what we can. But now that we're grown-ups, can you stand normally and move your shoulders? So look what Irma's doing. She's doing it wrong.
You tell me what to do then.
You're just moving your shoulders, you're moving your hips. Can you move your shoulders
Sure.
without moving your hips?
I can indeed.
If you bend your knees, that would help a bit. That would keep the hips sort of, because we tend to, but I don't want the hips, I just want the shoulders if you can. And while we're here, can you move the shoulders as if I were pulling and then pushing without the hips? So it's this, and this takes a little bit of, you might only be able, I'm exaggerating, but you might just go, and you might stop breathing. So breathe. And then again, shoulders without the hips, without the hips. Easy. But how about hips without the shoulders? Not that one. Forward and back, and the shoulders don't move. One hip forward, other hip forward. Are you holding your breath?
Are you smiling?
So you can do it with your knees bent, which works quite easily, or you can do it with your knees straight, which is not that easy.
Oh, not that easy at all.
Okay,
Oh, I'd like to hang forwards.
go on then.
Just to
No,
help release
don't
that,
try and stop you
that
ever.
upper back.
You want me to do that too?
Yes, I think for everyone, bend the knees slightly and let your head hang forwards.
And if you're not a yoga teacher, you might just want to do this. You might just want to come to here, because you shouldn't be feeling any pain with this type of class. It's really,
And then let's do a half circle while we're here.
but I've got so much standing, walking, running stuff to do.
We're getting there. Come back to centre, bend the knees and bring the head up last. Okay.
Ready?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you exaggerate? We're going to walk on the spot, but exaggerate the arms. So the arms and the opposite knee. Sort of, but you're exaggerating the arms. And then I'm going to get you to, so bring the elbow forward. Feel that? Across the rhomboids. Okay, that's good. And then I want one hand on one thigh. Can you walk normally with the other side? So one side's not moving at all. And the other side, I want you to exaggerate. Double busy.
Oh, the busy Cockney walk.
Let's swap sides. This hand keeping still, and but the other, that means the opposite hand, and the other side's going to be quite normal. Getting that? Okay, then one foot forward, the other elbow up in front of you towards the screen. Then swap elbows and swap elbows back. Going to take a step with the other arm up. Look forward, swap arms. You're going to feel this later through your thoracic spine, I promise you. So take it easy. And then come towards and back and back. It's like choreography, right? Exaggerating. This time we're going to exaggerate the hips. This time we're going to exaggerate the knees, and it's as if you're reaching forward to some place with the knees. Yeah. Oh, I do feel silly. Okay, let's shake it out. I think we've run out of time. I think there's so much more. So for running, just keep in mind the very best runners do well because their arms are pumping, and it's the pumping of the arms that moves the legs. But hopefully you're getting a much better sense of your options while walking. And every now and again, if you exaggerate, if you do the Lauren Bacall thing, can we do that? This really makes...
So we're looking at the connection.
Yeah, don't do this. I won't do this in public. Just in private. Okay, I think that'll do.
Well done.
Just walk normally a little bit around the room. Feel what your contact with the floor is like.
I'm going to check the sound.
And where do you hold your head? Here, here, somewhere in between. And can you look over your shoulder as you walk one way and the other way?
Hi Janine, is the
Hey,
sound
Janine.
okay?
It's a bit late now if it isn't. Hey, I'm going to do a meditation, so would it work if we sit here and then you get a better sense of sound? Does that work? Uma,
Yes.
speak to me. Come and
Yes,
sit
yes.
down, please. Let me look, because I'm a tech guy.
I can't see all the comments
You
there.
can't
the
see much
screen's
at
in
all.
the way.
Okay, I'm just going to shift it slightly. Okay. Not that anyone wants to look at anyone while they're meditating, but... Oh, you know one more thing I wanted you to do? Oh, this is amazing. So we'll do it quickly. Ankle over. And pull it in, and then let the ankle go a little bit down the knee. And bring it back again. And do that a couple of times. This is amazing for your lower spine, for your lumbar. And this changes the biomechanical functioning of walking. Okay, let's swap sides. We'd normally pause, have a walk round, but we don't have time. My Tibetan teacher used to say that all the time. Our Tibetan teacher. You think you have time? Well, we certainly do now, don't we? Okay. Oh, just wanted to get that last one in. It's such an important thing.
We calibrate standing one more time after all that release.
Well, I think you're too close to the camera, but go ahead.
Okay, so feet in a little bit closer. Let the head drop forwards. Ah, nice.
So
Thank you.
easy.
Thank you.
So come to any position that you feel is comfortable. That could be standing on your head, leaning on the wall, but probably sitting, lying, doing whatever you need to do to bring yourself into full presence, whatever that means to you. For me, the best way is to start to focus strongly on listening. So there's a vague sound of music. I can hear crows outside. I can hear the sound of my own heartbeat. My breathing coming and going by itself. And what, you know, one of the reasons the thing is so important for me is I once did a 3 months monastic retreat and meditation only up to 18 hours a day. And at the end, the only thing that had changed was that I could move my toes individually. So I guess that's a long time to get that happen. But what it means is the connections in the body affect the connections in the mind and vice versa. So I hope you find that to be the case. Let's go to your breath now. And can you feel your feet as you breathe in and as you breathe out? Which part of your feet can you feel? Have your eyes closed or open? It's up to you. Aware of your breath and aware of your feet. Easy if you're a woman. Not so much a man. We can focus on one thing at a time. But I'm trying. Aware of your breath coming in, aware of the feet. Aware of your breath going out, aware of your feet. What's happening in your feet? Staying aware of your breath as you breathe in. For me, it's a tingling, sort of a resurrection. Breathing in, aware of the feet. Breathing out, aware of the feet. My big toe is quite prominent in my mind. Breathing in, aware of my feet. Breathing out, feeling particularly the underneath surface of my feet feel like it's sort of singing or complaining, I'm not sure. But I'm breathing in, aware of my feet. Out, aware of my feet. I'm getting sort of prickling feeling in the heels. Don't know what you're feeling or if you feel anything at all, but as you breathe in, stay aware of your feet. As you breathe out, aware of your feet. So, when you're ready, take a moment to notice how you feel right now. Yes. Maybe take a moment to acknowledge yourself for making the effort. It's very easy not to persist, but to make the effort and to have reap the rewards. So acknowledge yourself for making new habits in your life. And then take the feeling from these new habits, the sense of balance, sense of presence, and imagine you could throw it like a net over the rest of your week, over the rest of your day, and then see it falling. And so that for at least the rest of today, everything feels balanced, relaxed, and you can always come back to your breath. Did you want to say something? No? You're looking at me. You normally want to say something.
Just thank you for joining us. Hope this has been of some benefit. How often do you think one should do the toe stretches?
Oh, I don't think you need to do it again for at least a month, 6 weeks, and maybe not at all. But yeah, the changes. So we're making quite dramatic changes. Some of you can feel that, and it's what we want to do is for those changes to integrate. Not to turn into an exercise which is mindless. So I'd rather you did much less than you do. You know what would be great? Just wiggle one toe a day. And
that's what we're going to do, joints.
We're going to do...
So that was a start
that's illegal,
today.
Isn't it?
Releasing the joints is it's so important as we get older because everything tends to calcify.
And it's really just move. It's not a secret. You just got to move it. So neck joint is just going to be this, boring, and maybe with some resistance. Wrist joints is just going to be this, and those clickings you're hearing, those bumps you're feeling, or where your bones have calcified, or where the tendons have calcified, and use it or lose it. And so we're so adaptable, the brain has such plasticity that you can change your body, and that's what we're trying to do, to help you feel a lot younger, 20 years at least. So I'm hoping it's working. Thank you for your time, and we will be back tomorrow, won't we?
Yes, please, any feedback.
I'll leave us a hello, just a hello.
Yeah, hello, where are you from?
or anything else you'd like us to include or improve upon.
Yeah, or particularly it makes us feel a sort of glow in the heart when we read that you're starting to notice some changes in your physical life. So, love to hear that. Thank you again, and we should go now.
Yes, have a wonderful day, evening, and remember to consciously breathe and smile. Bye all. Thank you.